and welcome to Innov'Nation. I'm your host, Lynn Plachmeijer, and thank you for joining. Now, life is hard enough as it is, so for this episode, we are spotlighting the gadgets that will improve our way of life. But first, our headlines. Get comfortable because these technologies are about to change your life, among which a smart bed that adjusts your mattress when you snore. We take you to the world's largest and most influential technology trade show in Las Vegas, where companies are showing what they are made of. And the Lynn coin has been conjured up by our Joe Brown last week as an example of crypto fraud, but now people are actually trading a coin with my face on it. Is it a scam, or am I worth investing in? Now, it's what I like to do best, sleep. But this bed is not just your normal bed. This bed monitors you when you sleep, gives you all the data you need, and even changes the position of your bed when it detects your snoring, which some people supposedly do. So for more on this, I'm now joined by Kobi Pode, CEO of Polyron. So Kobi, thank you very much for joining me today. You design smart beds. Can you tell us how big of a problem sleep disorders are nowadays?
Hi, and thank you for hosting me. I think that we have in hand the most sophisticated bed that exists now in the market, with several sensors that are installed inside the bed. These sensors are reading your sleeping data and accumulated it into a file in the end of the day, which give you and analyzes you how was your sleeping, whether it was good, whether it was long, have you been dreaming, all of this, and of course, if you have been snoring. And all this data helps you in the end to go to a specialist and to analyze this and give you recommendation how to sleep. Besides this, the bed itself you can adjust the position you sleep, where it's comfortable, whether you need to read, whether you want to watch TV, or just to feel much better in the bed. All of this can be done through an app on your mobile or from the remote control, which is connected to the bed.
And is it, how much can it actually improve your sleep quality?
Sleeping is the most, I would say, one of the most important activities of the humankind. It's energize you. It's 30% of your time you're spending in bed, and because of this, the position that you are staying in the bed is very important, according to your body size, according to your sleeping methods, on how you used to sleep, on your side, on your back, on your belly. And according to this, you can adjust, you can fix the position of the bed. That's on one touch, it brings you to the position that is the best position for your sleeping.
And in the future, do you think we're all going to sleep on these smart beds?
It will be, of course, it's much more developed. I think in the future, it will be more connected through an AI technologies, which will analyze your state of mind, your body position, and will act automatically according to the profile that's inside the engines.
Wow. As you say, 30% of our time we spend in the bed, which is a lot. Do you think your technology is unique to Israel?
No, this is an international technology. I think this is one of the leading companies in the world for this technology. And we are holding this in Israel. We are the only one in Israel that have this high technology. So we can recommend on using it as a mattress company and also as an adjustable bed company, which we are supplying to Israel.
Sounds amazing, and I can't wait to try it. Kobi Pode, CEO of Polyron, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Well, with the threat of a new Iran war looming, we take you to Soroka Hospital at Ben Gurion University, which was hit during the Israel-Iran war last June. Thanks to the quick thinking of students, 5 years of research on diabetes, inflammatory disease, and metabolic disorders was saved. Work that could help millions as the global pandemic of sedentary-related diseases continues to spiral. Our Emily Francis went to take a look.
In the early morning hours of June 19th, Iran's barrage of ballistic missiles slammed into Israel's largest hospital in the Negev. Miraculously, the lives of scores of patients at Soroka Hospital were spared, but 8 operating rooms and 6 research labs were destroyed.
We had the sprinklers working, and some of the tubes in the room, water and sewage, everything was, exploded.
So they were like just pieces.
So we walked in 20 centimeters of water there, all kinds of stuff in the water. I don't want to talk about it.
Including 5 years of important scientific work led by Ben Gurion University's Professor Ehud Ohana.
Oh, בדיוק. תרדי, זה עוד, ממש עוד.
Thanks to the quick-thinking students, they were able to save many of the biological samples that are paving the way for huge advances in diabetes as well as inflammatory and metabolic diseases.
Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel diseases in general, colitis, but there are all kinds of indications that metabolism is involved, including papers from our group showing that specific metabolites are elevated in Crohn's and colitis patients in their gut and also in their blood. And we know that these metabolites are linked to chronic inflammation. In green and yellow, you actually see the proteins, the molecules that sit on the membranes of cells. This is the actual robot that takes glucose from the extracellular environment, from the external environment into the cell, in order for it to be used for metabolism, for energy production.
Nearly 500 million people in the world suffer from diabetes type 2, and more than 1 million die every year. As many as 8 million people globally have Crohn's disease, 1 million in the U.S. alone.
In a precision type of medicine, future medicine, we might be able to detect genetically prone patients who are not already sick but might be sick in a few years, and then maybe we'll use this as a pre-treatment to prevent, like a full-blown disease.
Professor Ohana and his team published their findings in Nature Communications journal. Their research discovered that many of these immunological inflammatory diseases are actually related to metabolism.
By lowering the levels of these metabolites, we think that the chronic inflammation would go down and take away the symptoms.
And what they found is that the key is the liver, the body's second largest organ.
The liver is this huge metabolic factory, so it can metabolize, it can turn the sugar into all kinds of other metabolites and get rid of it in the blood, which is actually what we want to achieve in diabetic patients, because diabetic patients have high levels of sugar in their blood. And we found that if you interfere with this mechanism, something remarkable happens. Liver cells start taking up 3 to 4 times more sugar than they usually do. Apparently, it's not just the cells that deliver information from one another, also molecules within the cell. They kind of touch each other in order to send signals to one another. And by doing that, they coordinate which and how much of specific metabolites would be transferred into them.
With different cells and molecules communicating with one another, these bright minds are figuring out how to discover future solutions to minimizing symptoms of Crohn's disease and perhaps even addressing cancer.
Actually now developing specific molecules that would enter into all cells. And by doing that, we will specifically impair the function, even kill cancer cells, while other cells will be able to deal with these molecules and they will stay unharmed.
Although it's still early days before potential clinical trials and implementation, these Israeli scientists are setting the stage to help the entire world.
Science is our mission. It's a life mission for us. But we also understand the importance of science, not just to our nation, but to humanity.
Emily Francis there. Now, it's the world's biggest showcase for new technologies. The Consumer Electronics Show, or CES, held this week in Las Vegas. Nearly 4,000 exhibitors unveiled everything from robots to innovative gadgets, some powered by artificial intelligence, others not. But what are the standout trends from CES 2026? Let's take a look.
AI. These two letters are everywhere at this global tech event. AI. Artificial intelligence is set to infiltrate our daily lives, especially through robots. And there's something for everyone, from small robots that help with sports to larger ones capable of doing your shopping.
And the scenario that we are showcasing here is the retail scenario. So they're, operating fully autonomously in retail stores, in convenience stores, and they're, basically customers place order on an iPad, you receive the order, and they'll go retrieve the product that they received. And also they're working in warehouses, in factories, in pharmacies as well.
But AI isn't just in robots. It's appearing everywhere at home, even in the bathroom. Showers that adjust water composition to your skin type. Hair clippers that deliver a perfect cut in under 15 minutes, all controlled through a mobile app. At first glance, this gadget might look like an ordinary lollipop. Just plug it in to hear music. And now, choosing a nail polish color is a thing of the past. You can change it whenever you want. No more polish bottles, no more remover, no waiting for nails to dry.
At night, you go out on a date, you have a red dress up, you change your color of your nails to red. You can do that thousands of times, over and over, on demand, whenever you want. All you need is our nails and an iPhone app.
While some of these innovations may seem frivolous, others could literally save lives. Take this giant scanner, for example.
The goal of Body Scan 2, which is very ambitious, is to detect the early signs of chronic disease before they are too late, so that you can act on it and it's still reversible. So to do so, we collect more than 60 biomarkers and we make a total assessment of your cardiovascular health and your metabolic health.
The Consumer Electronics Show is the global stage for tomorrow's technologies, bringing together the innovations that will shape our future. Every year, it's the perfect place to take the pulse of the tech world and see where it's heading in the year ahead, 2026.
Getting rid of nail polish sounds like a dream. Moving on from lifestyle tech now. Last week, our Joe Brown reported on memes fueling crypto fraud. In his explainer, he used the example of the Lin coin, a made-up crypto coin with my face on it that could theoretically fool people into investing. And lo and behold, somebody actually made the Lin coin. But before we dive in, let's refresh your memory.
Creating a cryptocurrency can take only 5 minutes using an existing blockchain, which is a system that records transactions. You just need a snazzy name like Lincoin, a picture, supply limit, and bingo, you have created a new crypto token. Because it's so easy, tens of thousands of people have created their own. But how can you make yours stand out from the crowd? The answer? Make it go viral.
So Joe, the Lin coin, we have been breaking our heads over this phenomenon all week. Do we know who made it?
Yes, we do. First of all, I'd just like to say it is an absolute pleasure to be sat opposite the face of Lin coin.
Well,
you're
very
a true
welcome.
icon in the crypto coin game, in the meme coin game.
Autographs later.
By all means, yes. So I woke up a couple of days after the segment was aired to a barrage of messages saying that this had actually been willed into existence. It's almost as if people had seen what I was warning about and thought, okay, let's try and almost prove him right. And to an extent, it has kind of gone like that. It's gone through a very interesting journey, has Lincoin. It started off very slow, and then suddenly it hit a massive peak. It went up by 8,500%, which is an absurd level within 24 hours. The record for Bitcoin within 24 hours is around about 40% increase.
No way.
So that shows
8,000.
how... Over 8,000%. So if you invested, say, $1,000 in it, if you withdrew it at the right time, you'd have made $85,000. It's absurd, I know. And this was kind of the point I was trying to make in my original piece about how unregulated it is, because even though it reached those highs, it hit massive lows within a couple of hours. It lost 80 to 90% of its value, and since then it's been kind of middling at around that level. But to answer your question as to who made it, I did find out the person who made it to see why they did that and whether it would be a scam. The person who made it is somebody who goes on the pseudonym of Trax. He is a French Thai man who saw the segment, and the reason he created it was that he thought it would be a funny narrative to do. And to be fair, actually, I kind of rate that. It is kind of funny. Fair play, Trax. But he said that because this was a news channel that was talking about kind of like the negatives of meme coins, and it's such a big and to an extent can be a lucrative community, he thought that this would be a good narrative to abide by. They call it the lore, the backstory into it. So he tried to create this by doing so, ride a wave, so that he, by investing early, could be able to make some money if/when it reaches its peak. But that is the issue at hand. I don't know a great deal about this Trax person. I don't know how much money he made. I don't know if this is a scam or if this is fraudulent. From the people I've spoken to who are knowledgeable in the meme coin community, they say that a lot of them are fraudulent. A lot of them are created by bad actors who are wanting to do that. And we even saw that today with, allegedly, with Eric Adams, the former mayor of New York, who created his own meme coin and then withdrew most of the liquidity almost instantly, crashing the coin. But this is the issue. We don't know who did it. We don't know what their intentions are. And hundreds of thousands of dollars have been traded in Lincoin over the last week, probably close to $1 million right now. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that some people can make, but it's also a lot of money that some people can lose.
And we are not liable. So for the viewers at home, we are not liable for this. It's not our coin.
We are not. Listen, if you want to invest in Lincoin, by all means. But I'd say it's the equivalent of going into a casino, putting all of your money on getting a zero on the roulette wheel. Yes, you can win a lot of money by doing it, but it's a massive gamble. If you want to put money into it, only put as much as you are willing to lose. Do not put your life savings into it.
The Trax guy you spoke to, he also said that he would donate to Auschwitz.
So this was a way for him to prove to me that this would be it can be used as a force for good meme coins. There is a website called Bags FM, which essentially makes it so that any transaction fee from the meme coin that people put into can be used to give money to the creator or to the developer. He offered it to me. I said, for ethical reasons, I absolutely cannot do that. No. I told him to give it to charity. So I suggested Holocaust awareness, but because of Bags FM, it has to go through a Twitter or an X account. So it is going through the X account of the Auschwitz Museum. I have contacted them saying this is how you're able to claim the money. I'm waiting to hear back from them, but it is a possible way of fundraising. It's not the most preferred way of fundraising, if I'm being completely honest.
No, it sounds very, you have to go through a lot of steps.
Many steps, yes. Many different boundaries for legality.
Yes, and legality.
And legality, and it can cost people a lot of money if they don't play their cards right.
Yes, so am I worth investing in? We are not sure yet.
You personally, by all means. Lincoin, that's up for the viewer to decide.
Thanks, Joe Brown. Thank you so much for figuring out the idea of the Lincoin and being with us to explain it.
Thank you for being the face of Lincoin.
Yes, well, you're very welcome. Moving on, Uber is facing thousands of sexual assault lawsuits across the United States. And this week, a single trial in Arizona could determine whether the company can be held legally responsible for alleged attacks by its drivers. Natasha Kurchuk reports.
Every woman knows this moment. You're tired, maybe you've had a drink, it's late. You just want to get home safely, so you open an app, you book a taxi, you check the license plate, send it to a friend, sit in the back seat, and then you trust that this stranger who's driving you home is vetted and tracked and safe. Now, imagine that ride becoming your worst fear. Well, that is what is at the center of a major trial that's unfolding this week in Arizona, the U.S. state, and it could change the future of ride sharing as we know it. Uber is facing a sexual assault lawsuit brought by a woman named Jaylyn Dean, who says that she booked a ride through the app and was raped by her driver. Now, this is the first federal trial to test whether Uber can be held legally responsible when assaults happen on its platform, and the stakes are really enormous. Uber is facing more than 3,000 similar lawsuits across the United States, and this case is what lawyers are calling a bellwether, a test case. The verdict could help determine how thousands of other cases are resolved and how much Uber may ultimately have to pay. Now, Uber's defense is clear and controversial. Its drivers are independent contractors, not employees, and therefore Uber says it shouldn't be liable for criminal acts that are committed by those drivers. But the woman suing Uber argues that the company knew sexual assaults were happening on its platform and failed to take basic steps to protect its riders. Now, this is not Uber's first reckoning. For years, the company has faced criticism over driver vetting, over safety systems, and really just a culture that critics say prioritized growth over protection. Uber now says that safety is foundational. They are pointing to new tools that they've created, like, in-app ride verification, audio and video recording, panic buttons, and public safety reports. But this case is really bigger than Uber. Uber's competitor Lyft is also facing similar lawsuits. And ride-sharing apps, we know that they've transformed how women move through cities, especially at night alone. They're not just selling convenience, they're selling trust. But this trial is asking a hard question. When a tech platform puts people in cars together and then profits from it, how much responsibility does it carry when that trust is violated? Because like this case proves, for millions of women, this fear is not theoretical. So we're just going to really have to wait and see what comes out of this trial.
Natasha Kirchik there. Last week, we reported that undressing women and children was happening on Grok, causing major outrage across the nation, not only the nation, but also internationally. And now some countries have taken measures. For all the latest viral tech news, I'm now joined by I24 News correspondent Jody Netelevitz. So Jody, what more can you tell us?
Yes, so as you said, and as we said last week, Grok has been facing a lot of criticism for producing explicit content, obscene content of women and children. And Malaysia and Indonesia have now gone and temporarily blocked Grok in their countries. And at the same time, the UK is opening an investigation and maybe pursuing legal action against the chatbot. X said it would limit image generation and editing features, but governments are basically saying that if your AI is generating such obscene material, you can't just shrug it off and say it's just a tool. So what's really at stake here is whether tech platforms are legally responsible for the images and things that their AIs create. So it could actually force AI companies worldwide to build much safer and stricter systems or face being kicked out of markets entirely.
But on the other hand, I also saw that the US and Grok are expanding their cooperation. Yes. So the US is completely on the opposite side of the spectrum here.
Yes, so they basically think this is nonsense. And the US Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, has actually taken a step further. And he's now implementing Grok into the Pentagon's systems, and it will be operating there pretty soon. He says this comes from a need to streamline and speed up technological innovations within the Pentagon and within the military, without the ideological constraints that you may face with human workers.
Wow, in the Pentagon nonetheless.
Yeah.
That's going to be a bit scary. All right, then on to religion, because AI is also infiltrating in the faith, but not in a good way.
No, I did have a bit of a laugh about this one. Pastors across the US and even as far as the Philippines are having their likeness taken and used in AI-generated videos, which are being used to scam their own congregations. One priest even had videos of himself circulating online and urging followers to pay for these sermons and prayer sessions with him using not just money, but even crypto. The deepfake videos even included ominous imagery like hourglasses to create a sense of urgency that these people need to buy these things now. And because these pastors live stream constantly, there's just this never-ending supply of their likeness out there, which makes it really easy for scammers to scrape their videos and their faces and their voices and make fake videos. And these fake sermons are even going viral with millions of people believing that they're real.
So gotta have faith is not an option. All right, Jody Nedelovitz, thank you so much for joining to break that down.
Thank you for having me.
So that's all we have time for today. I'm your host, Lynn Plachmeijer. Join us next week for a brand new episode of Innov'Nation, because we take you to Dubai, where an Israeli company is making waves. So for now, thank you for watching and have a great day wherever you are from Tel Aviv.